Good day and welcome to the dining room table. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is holding this town hall. He says, I need help from Albany to get the housing we need. Please subscribe, like, and share. So, someone who is attending the town hall from the community is asking a question on housing, and the mayor is responding. Let's hear from them.
At our table agreed that housing affordability is a critical, longstanding problem in our community. So our question is, how can we count on you to create housing opportunities, housing choice, and housing stability for all households, but particularly households that are low income, meaning under $65,000 annually. And this includes our rent stabilized households. As you know, this community primarily consists of rent stabilized households. And we are also paying more than 30% of our income towards our rent. So a 7% increase is just something that will lead many of our households to make hard choices or to evictions. So we're just asking you, how can you help us stabilize, anchor ourselves in our homes in quality housing? And how can you get the state to help fund the deeply affordable housing that we need?
Thank you for that. And again, housing housing is one of the top three issues that we are facing every day. And I need help to get Albany to match the urgency. It is unconscionable that we did nothing to incentivize housing in Albany. Now, Deputy Mayor Maria Torres Springer is now trying to find creative ways of doing that. But one cannot say that housing is the number one issue. Think about this for a moment. Everyone is saying housing is the number one issue, but we did nothing to incentivize it in Albany. Nothing at all. Borough President Levine, who was here, he identified places throughout the city that we could build, that we want to build on. We want to raise the heights of buildings in areas that don't have affordable housing in them to find low, middle income units. But if we don't get Albany to sign off on this stuff, we're handcuffed. We're going to still build housing, but nowhere near the levels that we don't like to. Innovation Queens, a project that we did. Willis Point, 100% affordable. You start going down the line, Bruckner, they didn't have any affordable units for the most part up there. We went up there and the local councilwoman Velasquez was able to do it. So we need help from Albany to assist in getting this housing that we need. And that's why these town halls are important, because right away people see me on the train or they see me, on the block and they say, Eric, why aren't you building more affordable? I need you to understand what is in the way of us building that housing that you're talking about, so you can go and say, my local elected, my senators, my assembly persons, y'all need to get this bill passed and get this housing incentives in place. Because I'm with you. We need more housing. And Dan Garodnick, you want to add to that, Dan?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. All I wanted to add beyond your excellent points about the challenges that we're facing in Albany, which include artificial limits on how much density we can have in residential development, incentives to build more. The way that the housing crisis connects to the tenants' rights challenges that we have in the city is that there really can't be tenants' rights when you don't have sufficient supply of housing. If you don't have an option as a tenant, you are in a vulnerable position relative to a landlord. And the point about people who are rent burdened, 50% of New Yorkers are rent burdened today, which means that they pay more than 30% of their income on rent. Our housing has not kept up. This is not a recent problem. This is a many decades long problem, and we need to catch up. And the mayor has set some very ambitious goals. We are putting together our own proposals. absent what Albany, is not doing, we are developing our own plans as to what we can do here in New York City, separate and apart from Albany. And we look forward to having that conversation with this community and communities around the city where we're going to say, well, look, the moment has come for us to create more housing for the sake of tenants' rights, for the cost of housing, the challenges of gentrification and homelessness. And we really want to take this moment to advance the wall, make sure every community is doing their share. We really need to take this moment now. So we are developing our own plans, a citywide text amendment to be able to promote housing growth in New York City, and that's coming in the next number of months.